Hello everybody and welcome to today's stream. So, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, like normal. Also, my apologies for cancelling Wednesday's stream. I had completely forgotten that I had both a dentist and a doctor's appointment that morning. Yeah, I completely forgot. Doctor's appointment went great, dentist appointment was a bit of a shock. When I walked in for just a general checkup at the dentist, I did not expect to leave with a treatment plan and, well, an estimated amount it's still gonna cost me this year. Um, yeah, I, that's not what I expected. And it comes a bit unfortunate for me, seeing as I don't. I do have a health insurance, it just doesn't cover the dentist. So, yeah, thanks to my parents who are willing to aid me financially, seeing as they also think it's quite important to get everything, well, fixed and sorted. It's nothing that can't be treated, it's just, it's gonna take a bit of a time, but today, more Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. It's, today I'm gonna do the dungeons that do unlock after you beat the main line, but aren't necessarily storyline dungeons, because some of those, believe it or not, you actually have to beat for you to continue with the storyline. I know, it's a bit of a low one. For instance, you absolutely need to get HM Surf in order to obtain the option to actually continue with some of the storyline. It's why they made the decision to lock that after dungeons that aren't even mandatory is beyond me. Really? I have no idea why. Also, seeing as I have to have a Pokemon that can use Surf, there's Azurill. Yeah, Azurill. Why did my controller go that way? I literally have only one water Pokemon. Darling little Azurill. So, yeah. Azurill is coming with me. So this little cutie here now has to be trained. Because, well, the other water type Pokemon I can readily get my hands on is Kyogre. So why not train an Azurill? I mean, they're adorable little things. Azurill might be one of the cutest Pokemon in existence. I have no idea why. Yeah, I'm gonna sell off everything else. I was hoping for a bit more money. Oh well. It's a good thing I looked up yesterday how I can continue with the storyline, because I would have never guessed to go look behind dungeons that aren't necessarily storyline dungeons. So if I was gonna continue with what I was doing, with just randomly just taking on missions, I would have never progressed the storyline. That's not a good thing. I'm gonna see if I can scavenge an additional 300 Poke out of my storage. That way I now have all the friend areas. Oh yeah, I definitely have 300 Poke in here. Oh, I do need Fire Blast. Yeah, I definitely have 300 Poke. Let's just clear out the storage anyway. Oh, oh well. That also works. Yes, let's buy everything. And that's gonna be it. That just means I'm now out of friend areas to buy. I already have the mission friend areas. That's just gonna be it. I now have all friend areas needed. So, let's go. Have a little look at the 2 friend areas I just got. Which are the other unknown chamber. I think it looks the same. No, the color is different. And this one is a nighttime. I believe the other one has it basically look as if it's day. And I believe the center is blue instead of green. H chamber O question mark. One of the 2 chambers in an ancient ruin. One is named A An and the other one O question mark. Odd. Yeah, I believe the other one actually has blue and it is like looks as if the it also is during the night time. But no, this one does glow blue. So and Southern Island. Southern Island, a gorgeous island in the southern seas. It's said to be visited often by Eon Pokémon. So, Latios and Latias. So, the options now are everything below Stormy Sea, I believe, is optional. Yeah. So we have, below Buried Relic, because Buried Relic was storyline. So we have Desert Region, Southern Cavern, Wyvern Hill, Solar Cave, Dark Knight Relic, Grand Sea, Waterfall Pond, Unknown Relic, and Far Off Sea. Let's give Solar Cave the first try, because I know you can find things like surf, dive, fly, and those kinds of moves are always in Solar Cave. Ah, bless Azrael, it's got nothing useful going for it. Solar Cave should be 20 levels long. I'm really dreading having to go back into Buried Relic because at some point I have to. Because of the 3 Regis and Mew. I at some point have to recruit those. I'm starting to think that making the decision to fully. Oh, hello. I'm not past the end game. I am in the end game, but yeah, there's still a lot more to uncover. But anyway, welcome. I am doing a full playthrough of Pokémon Red Rescue Team. Yes, I evolved. Barely, a couple of levels ago. I am doing a full playthrough. That includes like the proper God of War Gengar ending. And I am fully planning on basically filling up every single friend area. So this is gonna take a while. I'll take a very strong Meditite. Yeah, this is one of those games. I've had it since release, and I've just made the decision I just want it to be fully finished. And why does this Meditite come without any attacking moves? Oh well. And it can't even evolve. At what level does it evolve? Oh, that's actually a bit of an odd thing. It's a bit of a play on my actual name. That was mostly there because of my mom used to babysit the kids next door, and one of them had a bit of an issue with that his ears would keep getting clogged up, and therefore he could only hear part of my name, which he would pronounce as Reza. So, hence the reason my partner is called Reza, because it's somehow a nickname that I got from him that just stuck. And nobody knows why. And then the Venusaur is called Rain, well, because, well, that's me, and when I did the test, turns out I was a Bulbasaur that day. I was actually hoping for something a bit yeah, that was basically also it with like the kid next door was basically it was a bit on the young side to yes, I got Bulbasaur. Well, what shall I say about it? Bulbasaur, now Venusaur, has been serving me well. It's like one rule I set was I would do the test once, and whatever I would get out of it, that would be the Pokemon for my full playthrough. And I was really keeping my fingers crossed it wouldn't be a Psyduck. Because full Psyduck playthroughs are a bit rough. Also, I was hoping for not a Chikorita. That one would be rough as well. But Bulbasaur's great. It's actually quite a good Pokemon to play the game with. And even like the 3 legendary birds. Ah, Chikorita. It's an adorable Pokemon. It tries. Psyduck isn't much better either, because Psyduck learns like 2 attacking moves. It learns Scratch, and then it gets Confusion at level 16. And then the next attack it learns is gonna be, I believe, Fury Attack or Fury Stripes at level 35. I honestly have the theory they put Psyduck in as a bit of a troll, or like to make the game a bit more difficult. And like the moment you evolve it, like Psyduck is amazing post game because Golduck is a very good Pokemon. It's just poor Psyduck. Like Psyduck wasn't the best option. And what other Pokemon do we have? I always forget that Machop and Meowth are options because I always play as a female character and those are male only. I have no idea why they would lock certain Pokemon behind the gender because... Oh, Rayquaza! Yeah, there's a method to doing that. It's certain things make it significantly easier. But yeah, Rayquaza is yeah, that's indeed the thing. So certain Pokemon. Chikorita, Skitty and Eevee are female exclusives and Cyndaquil, Machop and Meowth are male exclusives. And that's something I always thought it was weird. Also, some of the Pokemon that are included in the quest seem to be a bit random to me. I mean, I can understand the starters. But yeah, Psyduck is a random one. Cubone is a Pokemon you can be. Yeah, let me do something about one thing. I don't like links that permit you to buy viewers. They're kinda illegal. There we go. Cubone actually is quite good, coming back to that question. It actually is. You do have to keep in mind though, it doesn't start with an attacking move. It only has Growl and Tail Whip in the beginning. But the moment it gets like Headbutt, Bone Club and Boomerang, it becomes a very good Pokemon. Also, Lightning Rod. So Zapdos can basically do nothing against you. And then when it comes down to the other Pokemon, Eevee is also a Pokemon that just works, and then Skitty is, well, Skitty is a speedrunner's choice. Skitty has got the cheapest moveset you can get in the game. When it comes down to starters, and it's cheap to such an extent that when I used it, I could beat Rayquaza at level 18. And speedrunners on average do beat Rayquaza with a Skitty on level 15, so yeah. Skitty is a nice and cheap option if you know how to use it moveset. Yeah, like it is. It's got like I like when you hear its moves, you don't think too much of it. Because it's the moveset they always use in speedrunning is Tail Whip, Tackle, Sing, and Double Slap. But what you do in that option is you keep Tail Whip and Tackle linked. So every single attack it downs the opponent's defense and then you attack. And then you keep Sing and Double Slap linked. So you can effectively stun lock your opponent. And then if you combine it with either a Charmander or a Cyndaquil, those both learn Smokescreen. You can effectively get a Rayquaza fight in which Rayquaza doesn't attack. Because you continuously keep putting it to sleep, keep putting a Smokescreen on it and just double slap. Later game, when like your Skitty is leveled a bit, it just... it's Rayquaza is the final boss of the main storyline. This is post game. But all first 3 generation legendaries are included in the game. So I believe the final legendary is technically either Jirachi or Deoxys. Rayquaza is just the final boss of the storyline, but after that you have Kyogre. Which other ones do you have? Afterwards you have Kyogre. You have Raikou, Suicune and Entei. You still have the 3 Reggies. You have Mew. basically all first 3 generation Pokemon are included in the game. So that includes the legendaries, and they're all recruitable. But yeah, I agree, Rayquaza is a quite a difficult boss. What other Pokemon do we have? Yeah, so answer isn't that like completing all the friend areas is gonna be a bit of a hassle. That's just because it contains like 365 Pokemon this game. Which I'm still impressed by, especially seeing as I'm using the Game Boy Advance game. I'm very impressed about the fact that they managed to cram 365 Pokemon into a Game Boy Advance game. Let's see. Does that Lunatone know anything decent? Not really, but oh well. I'd completely forgotten to set on the IQ skills. Oh, do I have food on me? No. That's gonna be a problem. Note to self, next time I go into this dungeon, bring food. A lot of it. Oh no, dead end. Yeah, that's a problem. That's not a good thing. Empty stomachs tend to be rather lethal in this game, but I have one advantage. In post-game, it is possible to switch over to your partner, who then has a full belly. Yeah, not all levels permit this. Like, some levels just don't allow you to switch partners. But some of them do. And this is also a problem. I haven't found any keys, which I kinda need. Oh, and the keys in a different dungeon. That's also something really annoying in the late game, is you need keys to unlock certain places, but the keys aren't necessarily in the same dungeon as where you need them. But yeah, the post game is a bit wild in this game. There are also in the post game, there are also like 4 challenge dungeons, which like either don't permit you to bring items or set your level back to 1. And those are all 99 floors. And if I remember correctly, there are like 2 mandatory 99 floor dungeons. They're quite long. Yeah, out of nowhere I have like a dungeon that takes like an hour and a half to play through, provided everything goes correctly. Oh, now I get a key. Now I need to go and look for like a room where I can use it in. Venusaur's out for blood today. I have no idea why. Sometimes, like your party NPCs, like your party members, are for some reason just extremely aggressive. No idea why. Alright, let's hope the next floor has one of those key rooms. Then I'll actually have to go looking for. I believe I named it Team Green Fire. Oh, that's just evil. That's a thing I need. And both the Pokemon there can reach it. I can't switch to get it. Yeah, I can't ask him that. And Meditite can pick it up as well, but... Oh no. Yeah, no. That, yeah, splitting up isn't great either. Well, that's a bit of the problem. None of those are actually strong enough to survive, but I can take... Presuming they both survive till the end of this dungeon, I can take one of those two with me next time, because I have to redo this dungeon again, and then just switch to them as the leader quite quickly. But that's a bit of the thing about this dungeon. This is where you get moves like surf, dive, fly, which are all at some point gonna be mandatory, because you need fly to re-enter Sky Pillar. You need dive for Kyogre's level, and then there are like also other dungeons that require things like surf or waterfall. And I can't split up anywhere in this dungeon. And I kinda need the both of them for my, yeah, like my rescue team completions. No. That works. But, oh whatever, I can come back later. I mean, I kinda went in to see what was what was in this dungeon, so... Well, let's see if I get to keep the key. But yeah, I either need to bring that Meditite or that Lunatone, or keep Azurill alive. Oh no, luckily, I do get to keep the keys. That's nice of the game. Let's change back to Venusaur. And let's try another dungeon. Let's see. Who am I gonna bring with me as partner? Yes, I too also just love the friend areas. at the moment I have them all complete. I have all the ones you can buy before Rayquaza, I've got all the ones you can buy after Rayquaza, and I've got like the ones you can get from missions. And these friend areas are so much fun. Yes. I basically have every single Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. No, they do not. Even the remake removed them. Like, none of the other games have them. And even the remakes removed them. Like, this game got a Switch remake and I was really looking... Well, in Explorers of Sky, which is basically the next game, like in Time and Darkness, they're just in a list. And in Explorers of Sky, the members that you take with you on expedition will wait for you in a cafe near like near where the dungeon entrances are. They're like, there's like the Spinda, a Wobbuffet, and a Wyanout that will build a cafe. And then I believe one of the Super Nintendo games just basically gives you a big plot of land to build things on, and so you just have your partners just roaming around like in the open basically. And some of the games just simply have a list. They kinda don't address where everybody lives. I still think that this is the most fun one, especially when you have like a friend area that gets a bit more crowded. Let's see, I was training up one of these two Elekkids. I mean, I can't wait for like certain friend areas to be entirely full. Yes, I love it too. I mean, I have one friend area completed. But it's kind of the easiest one to complete. So, here we have the 3 legendary birds. We have Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos. This is the only completed friend area that I've got. Yeah, no, the post game. And something else that's quite funny. For the unknowns, there's so many unknowns that they had to split them up between 2 chambers. Every single unknown in this game is considered to be a different Pokemon. So we have unknowns A to N and O until question mark. Because those had to be split over 2 dungeons. I think I'm gonna do that. Like, the unknowns got their own like mystery dungeon and everything. So I think I'm just... Oh, that might be a fun thing. Just get a list of like... Yeah, I think I'm gonna see if I can get all the unknowns to join today. That might actually be a perfect idea because it's quite simple. Unknowns have quite a high join ratio. They're not that strong. And I have both the dungeon where they live and the friend area. Because there it is, Unknown Relic. I believe that's where your unknowns live. I mean, why else would they name a dungeon after a Pokemon? Let's see if I can get one. That also makes me realize one thing. That also is gonna be a bit obnoxious, seeing as... That means I have to enter this dungeon at best. Yeah. Oh well, there went Elekid. Also, unknowns are... Oh no, they're a bit sturdy. Oh dear. That's gonna be great. Getting all the unknowns to join. That means I have to... I have to go and like at some point keep a list of which ones got joined. Well, it's not gonna be nearly as annoying as Mew. Mew is by far the most annoying Pokemon to get to join. It lives in a 99 floor dungeon. and it will randomly appear between floors 36 and 99. And you have a base chance of it joining of 0.9%. Oh, that's not good. Yes, Jirachi is in. All the first 3 generations of Pokemon are in the game. And when I say all, I really mean it. There were some version exclusives between Red and Blue, but if you use a Wonder Mail generator, you can import the missing Pokemon. Because that was basically just a functionary... Oh, there went Razor Leaf. Between like Red and Blue Rescue Team, you could like send requests over using Wonder Mail. So, yes, it just contains all the Pokemon. Oh, we have question marks over here. If I got the recruit... Oh, that's great! It like actually lists them off. I can check which unknowns I can find on the floor and which ones I still need. Yeah, perhaps I'll do a little unknown hunting today. That sounds about as obnoxious as doing it in the mainstream games. That's one I just remembered of 2 upsides of using a Psyduck as a starter. You don't have weather effects because Psyduck blocks that, and Psyduck blocks explosions. That's your advantage of using a Psyduck. You don't have weather effects and it blocks explosions. Oh, level up. And I'm surprised at how strong the Unknowns are. Unknown is normally not a Pokemon I associate with being strong. Or just genuinely annoying to deal with. Also, I'm now almost out of moves. Did it have to do that? I don't know, a mud trap. Something else I always think is great about this game is the music. It's got some really good music, especially for like a late Game Boy Advance, early 3DS game. No, not even 3DS, DS game. It's got some great music. They're like... And another thing that I'm impressed about is that there are very little differences between the DS and the Game Boy Advance versions. Like, the only difference is that like certain items and Pokemon are colored slightly differently because the Game Boy Advance couldn't display as many colors, but like they still managed to cram the same amount of content in both cartridges. they got like really efficient with like the usage of like Game Boy Advance cartridges in the end of its lifespan. And you could, back in the day, you could link both the DS versions and the Game Boy Advance versions. You actually had the option that if you, that the Game Boy Advance version and the DS version could actually rescue each other. Which was just amazing, like, my neighbors and I tended to do that all the time. It did require you to have a DS system, which they luckily had. But then if one of the two would like get stuck, then you could put the Game Boy Advance cartridge in the DS. And there was a method so that the Game Boy Advance game could rescue the DS game and the other way around. So that's also something that I think still to this date is pretty amazing. I believe it's the only game they ever made in which both versions on two different consoles can actually interact with in such a way. I believe it's like the only game that does this. Which I have no idea how they pulled that off. But it also makes me think like, yeah, but it also makes me figure like, why is this the only game series that they made use of that functionality? They clearly could link a DS and like a Game Boy Advance game. And this is literally, as far as to my knowledge, the only game that makes use of it in such a massive way. You could like transfer Pokémon from the Game Boy Advance games to the mainline DS games. This is like the only one in which like the DS and the Game Boy Advance version had such a compatibility. And I have no idea. Yeah, but they could do it. And it wasn't like the Game Boy Advance had like too limited. It wasn't like the. Yeah, but there was quite a long, like at least over where I live, there was quite a long overlap in which like both the Game Boy Advance and the DS were basically even in popularity. But yeah, I think it would have been fun if they would have made like a couple of more games that had that compatibility. I think I should clear out my missions. But I have to admit, like the Game Boy Advance like went out on some really good games. I mean, this was one of the last games that was actually made for the system. Yeah, up until recent. I think in Pokemon it's kind of a necessity at the moment because of like, how difficult it is. I mean, one of the few legitimate ways of getting a Jirachi in Pokemon is either transferring one from Pokemon Go or having like that bonus disc that I believe came with either a Nintendo 64 game or with a GameCube game. And then when it comes down to Celebi, like Celebi is even worse because the only way to legitimately now get Celebi is to yeah, Jirachi is a bit obscure. Celebi isn't much better because Celebi was a Japan-only event up until the Virtual Console. That's like until that point, it was like a event only, and the event could never release outside of Japan. Jirachi is also a bit obscure to get. Mew back in the day was a Pokemon you could get if you, I believe if you went to the movies, you could get like special cards and sometimes Mew. Yeah. No wait, Jirachi. If you really want a Jirachi, if you have a Switch, it is quite easily available in the Diamond and Pearl remakes. But it does require you to have... I don't remember anymore if it requires you to have save data for Pokemon Sword and Shield or save data for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Because if you have the save data, one of those games gives you Manaphy and the other one gives you Jirachi. And you get both of them before the second gym. So that's your best bet for Jirachi. It does require you to have 3 different Pokemon games and a Switch. But yeah, that's how you can get one. It's not the best solution, but you can get one that way. I was really surprised when I got him. It requires you to have like Mystery Gift unlocked, but you can, if you know how to do it, you can unlock Mystery Gift before the first gym. So, and then you can get Jirachi and Manaphy before the second. So, you can get a Jirachi. Yes! There are mystery gifts and they're linked to having some of the other Pokemon games. So, if you have a Switch and you have... So you need a Switch, you need the Diamond or Pearl remake. You need Sword or Shield or Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. You only need to have save data of them. So if you don't have them, but like a friend you know has them, ask if you can borrow them. You only need the save data. It doesn't matter how like long that save data is. You can just boot up the game, save, hand your friend like the game back, and it will work. And then you can get a level 5 Manaphy and a level 5 Jirachi. It's probably one of the easiest ways ever to like obtain a Pokemon. Especially when it comes down to Manaphy, because I had been sitting my ass down replaying Pokemon Ranger. Yes, I have one for my version of Pearl. Because I also basically own every single mainline Pokemon game except for like a few. Well, originally the way to get a Manaphy was you needed Pokemon Ranger for that. Yeah, that wasn't great. So in order to get a Manaphy into Diamond, Pearl and Platinum, that meant you had to get a copy of Pokemon Ranger, finish the game, get a code from a magazine. This was from before the internet, so you needed to have a... Oh yeah, but I beat it multiple times. Yeah. But it required you to have a beat copy of Pokemon Ranger, a code from a magazine, which I got because I was subscribed to the magazine. Then you had to enter it, and then you would get an additional quest to go and like rescue a strange egg, which would be the Manaphy egg, and then you could transfer it from Pokemon Ranger to Diamond, Pearl and Platinum, which required 2DS systems, which I did back in the day. And every single save file of Pokemon Ranger can generate one Manaphy egg. So I have been sitting there, beating Pokemon Ranger again, finding the old code back. Nowadays it's luckily found online. Like, playing that mission. And I even got like Pokemon Bank for the DS system, for the 3DS system to like transfer it. And then I could get Manaphy out of a mystery gift. But yeah, that might make Manaphy one of the most obnoxious Pokemon to get, because it required to have 2 games, 2 DS systems, and 1 game had to be fully beat. And Pokemon Ranger, yeah, I put in all that effort. I've also like started a full shiny dex in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, which is the easiest game to get like shinies in, but I do not recommend getting a shiny dex. I still have to beat Brock and my entire team is in like its upper 50s. So it's not that great. But yeah, that's some of the things you had to go through back in the day to like get certain things. And I still love the Pokemon Ranger series. I really wish they would have done more with those. I mean, the idea was great. Yeah, I like completing games. And if I want something, I'm gonna get it. Oh no, I didn't buy a second DS. I bribed my neighbors to use theirs. But yeah, I spent quite a bit of time doing their chores to get a hold of their DS systems. Yep. I mean, they didn't make it easy for me. Like, one of the things that had to be done was, for instance, I had to take one of the neighbors' turn to wash their parents' cars. So there went my Saturday, but I got what I wanted. And I still on occasion put in way too much effort into games. I mean, this one is also gonna be a prime example. Sure, let's go finish the entire game, which is as a speedrun. Which is as a speedrun, just from beginning until the true full ending is like 50 hours long. And that's the speedrun. And then I'm gonna chuck on also getting all the Pokemon to join, which is at its core also a 60-hour speedrun. And I'm doing it casually. So I've got a feeling that like for the next year or so I'm gonna be streaming Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. That's yeah, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Like, it's not officially on the leaderboards because there's like only one person that does them. But getting all the Pokemon to join at like I believe I still have the Manaphy. I have the Manaphy in the remakes. I don't have it in the original games anymore, but I do have a Pokemon Ranger game of which the Manaphy egg is basically ready to transfer. But my old copy of Pokemon Pearl doesn't work anymore. It's that was such a beloved game to me that I actually broke it. Yeah, and I'm not gonna replace it. It's like they can. It was one of my most loved games. That game has seen half of Europe. Because it was of course also my default game to bring with me on vacation. For a very long time. So yes, it actually stopped working correctly. I think it's just the context that got dirty, but yeah, you can break games if you play them often enough. My favorite Pokemon game, mainline series or spin-off, because there's a bit of a difference. For mainline series, I am gonna have to go with Pokemon Leaf Green. And for mainline series, I think that might, and then, yeah, for mainline series, I think it's gonna be Leaf Green, because I originally back in the day had like Fire Red, but I prefer Leaf Green, which I also have, because Leaf Green has my favorite Pokemon. And then for spin-off series, for the Mystery Dungeon series, my favorite by far is still Explorers of Sky. One, it's an incredibly good game, and two, I can genuinely be my favorite Pokemon as a starter. I absolutely love Vulpix and Ninetales. And in Explorers of Sky, you can actually be a Vulpix. So I absolutely love that. And then when it comes down to Pokemon Ranger, it's Shadows of Almia. It's twice as long as the original Pokemon Ranger, and you can actually have multiple partners which you can switch out. And it's got a great storyline, and you actually have Vulpix and Ninetales are my favorite. Hence the reason that in Legends Arceus I have both a regular. I wanted to say a regular Ninetales, but I have a shiny I was actually lucky enough to get, like, in that game, to get a shiny Alpha Vulpix. So I have a shiny Alpha Ninetales in Legends Arceus for regular, and then an Alolan Ninetales as well. Yeah, I have no idea why, but Vulpix and Ninetales are just my favorite Pokemon. In Legends... Oh, so you haven't played Legends Arceus. It's basically the game of which the fanbase wanted Nintendo to make. It's the closest thing we're gonna get to a fully open world Pokemon game. And Alpha Pokemon are just very strong members of their species. They have glowing red eyes and can even early game easily be in, like, the 40s. The first Alpha Pokemon you meet is Rapidash. They're bigger, they're stronger, they have red glowing eyes, they're far more aggressive. And yeah, they start out at level 40. It's something. It's Legends Arceus is a bit different because one of the things you have to take into consideration is it is basically open world. Stealth is a mechanic you have to take into consideration. You can sneak around, you can ride Pokemon. You have main storyline, you have subquests. It's got a very big Pokédex. It's got special regional variants. So if you have a Switch, give Legends Arceus a try. It's quite a good game. It's like the most recent Pokemon game, that is. Also, speaking about recent Pokemon games. Yes and no. That's the weird part. You can make it hard. You can make it difficult. But if you make it difficult for yourself, it also pays off. I mean, you can, for instance, you can go, like, right from the moment you get your starter, you can go and, like, see if you can catch that level 40 Rapidash. You're not gonna get it, but if you do get it, if you're, like, lucky enough, then you automatically start the game with, like, a level 40 Pokemon. And it's got, like, all the Pokemon are in the overworld. You can all see them. You can sneak up upon them. Pokemon can also attack you. Trainer battles are also now... no, not trainer battles. Pokemon battles are also in the overworld. So when you're, like, fighting Pokemon, you can, like, walk around and have, like, different angles. Because it's all done, like, in-world and in-engine. And there's a sneak mechanic, which you have to learn. Back throws, if you had a Pokemon that doesn't know you're there from behind, it's like they are easier to catch. It's got a crafting mechanic because it's set in the past, so you do have to make your own Pokeballs. And it's not the most difficult Pokemon game, but yeah, when it comes to difficulty, I'd say it's fair. If you want to go for, like, that level 40 Rapidash, you can do so. If you don't, you don't. It also has done away with trait evolutions. You can still trade Pokemon to evolve, but you don't have to anymore. For instance, a Kadabra, you don't have to trade anymore with somebody else to get an Alakazam. You can just give it a link cable. And they're like different versions of Pokemon. Yeah, Legends Arceus, it's got a lot. it is gonna be the dominant style of how they're gonna continue the games, because they did announce that Generation 9 is gonna have the same overworld things as Legend Arceus. So for in case you didn't know yet, Generation 9 got announced. It's based off Portugal and Spain. And it's got some of the silliest and most adorable starters they've ever made. Yeah, I'm actually quite excited for that one. Like, Spain and Portugal, that's got some options. That's a, Spain and Portugal, like, a lot of people don't know it, but they're, like, very versatile countries. So, that could be fun, but, like, its starters are some of the most adorable and stupid starters they have designed in years. For instance, the fire type starter is a apple alligator. And we have like a duck with like a military beret for like the water starter. And we have like a grass kitten for the grass starter that they had to redesign because poor Japanese designers accidentally put a marijuana leaf on its face. So that one already needed a redesign. And when it comes down to everything else, yeah, like, I mean, they didn't mean anything wrong. I mean, they just designed like a green Pokemon with also, I think that like the idea of having like a cat grass starter is like an absolutely adorable idea. But yeah, the original designs had like this little leaf pattern on its face, and then people pointed out, look, it's a marijuana leaf, and they had to redesign it because well, you can't have marijuana leaves in a Pokemon game. That's just kinda not done. So that one got like redesigned. They're like such silly looking starters. Yeah, I'm from the Netherlands. Over here it's also fully legal, but we also have some issues with putting it in basically a children's game. It's like, it's fully legal, but let's not expose our children too young towards it. And it's still illegal in quite large parts of the planet. True, but I'm of the opinion that they better not learn about it through a Pokemon game. That might not be the ideal learning media. It's probably best a bit that, like, over here in the Netherlands, it's mostly like home taught. Like, yeah, it's home taught, and but yeah, it's a bit silly. But I can understand the redesign. I can understand they couldn't get away with that. But I have to say though, like, there have been some questionable Pokemon designs as well in the past. For instance, Remoraid and Octillery were originally based off. Remoraid was originally based off a revolver and Octillery of a tank, which would make the evolution make a bit more sense. But I can understand that those got changed as well. That perhaps it's not the greatest thing that children associate guns and tanks with something fun. That's not the smartest one. And then we had like I believe Yungus. I'm not certain if it was that one, but it was basically the Rattata of the Alolan region that had like Trump's haircut, which like many so we had that one. We had Jinx that needed to be recolored because back in the day when it came out it was a racist stereotype. So yeah, we had those. Yeah, Jinx originally, nowadays it has like the purple face, but back in the day, Jinx had a pure black face. And like the black face, and then the blonde hair and the thick red lips. Um, yeah, that did not sit well with a lot of people. It's so they had to um, redesign Jinx, so they gave it a purple face. So yes, that was a thing. And the thing about it is they like the creators of Pokemon didn't even mean for it to be racist. It was just something that wasn't on their mind back in the days. But I'd love to see what they're gonna do with like the starters, because what are you gonna evolve a apple alligator into? And like a military style duck? What are you gonna evolve those into? I mean, they're absolutely adorable, but also the names are a bit more different. Are a bit different because the names, even in Japanese, have like clear like Spanish and like Portuguese like undertones in them. So um, they're gonna be a bit difficult to pronounce, and I would not be surprised that if that over here in Europe we just get they basically are only gonna translate the game, but not the Pokemon names, and we just are gonna get like the full Spanish Pokemon names. I would not be surprised. Certain countries in Europe have like their own translations for Pokemon, but I would not be surprised if like the entirety of Europe just has to make do with the Spanish names. I mean, they've done stuff like that before. But I'm really excited. The trailer looks promising. Like, Magnemite, for instance, is shown in the trailer and it actually looks metallic. Like, Magnemite actually looks like metallic and shiny. So, I'm quite excited about Generation 9. Let's see what they're gonna do with it. What they're gonna do with it. Like, the only problem I have with it is the starting characters look like they're 8. Normally, like, your trainer is supposed to be 12 to 14 years old, but these look like they're 8. Like, they should be in, like, late elementary school. So, yeah, that's, like, everybody's only problem with them is just, mostly at this point in the game is just, yeah, they just look very, very young. It looks like they're like 8 or 9 years old. They're definitely not in the double digits yet. Which is fine because, let's face it, it is kinda the age group they aim at with Pokemon. That was just like this big ass bunch of like adults in like their early 30s that got stuck in it because they started playing it in 95, yeah. That's kinda something I don't think they saw coming. Which, comes to think of it, that might have makes Pokemon have like the most diverse age grouping for any game, because it's technically aimed at young children, but a lot of people that like started playing it in like 95 when it came out are still playing it and like still collecting the cards. That's kind of weird actually to think about that. It's got 3-year-old. So it basically at this point has an age group from like 3 to 30 that play it. Which is kind of weird. I wasn't permitted to collect them as a child, which really stopped me, seeing as I now have 2 boxes full. And quite a lot of those are actually like the older vintage cards that I get from like garage sales and stuff like that. And like at some point my parents became a bit more accepting towards certain things. Just for the idea, I don't live with my parents anymore, but my parents didn't want me to gather certain things as a child because they thought it would was just gonna be a phase I would grow out of. And then they ended up with an adult daughter in like the mid-20s that still likes Pokemon and never grew out of certain childhood things. Which is apparently quite normal, actually. And yes, some of the cards look like incredible. One of my favorite ones is back when Sun and Moon came out, they made like a full, like the thing that actually got me into collecting the cards was back when Sun and Moon came out. They made a full Alolan Ninetales deck. Ah yeah, poor thing. Like, but when it hits, like, none of my moves hit. So, I'm happy it misses. Yeah, there is a full... Back when, like, Sun and Moon got released, they made the starting decks for the Pokemon trading card games were, like, the 3 starters, and, Alolan Ninetales and Alolan Sandslash got their own decks. So, they made a full Ninetales deck, basically. Which, after, like, collecting some more cards, I completely transformed into, like, a pure Alolan Ninetales and, like, regular Ninetales deck. Which is great, which actually has surprisingly decent coverage, seeing as regular Ninetales is always Fire type, but the Alolan Ninetales has cards that listed as a Ice type, but also, no, as a Water type, because, like, the trading card game doesn't have Ice typing. Or it lists it as a Fairy type. So, Alolan Ninetales basically has 2 coverages. And Fairy is quite a overpowered typing. But yeah, that was a deck they made. I absolutely love it. It's like... But that's because it's like my favorite Pokemon. It's also not that strong of a deck, but what's to be expected. Yes, Fairy is actually really strong. It only has 2 weaknesses. It's only weak to bug and poison. And that's it. Which now makes it have the least amount of weaknesses. It's also the only typing that deals double effective damage on a Spiritomb. Because of Spiritomb's typing, it's Ghost and Dark, and Fairy is actually double effective against both of those. It's super effective against dragon types. Fairy back in the day was actually introduced as basically an other dragon type killer. So yes, Fairy became ridiculously strong. Also, a lot of Pokemon got it. For instance, a lot of Pokemon that were A typing plus normal got Fairy type instead of normal. So you now have Pokemon like Gardevoir that are Psychic and Fairy type. Which is quite a sturdy combination. And like Meryl, Azumarill, and those that... Oh dear, how are the current criminal groups? They've been struggling. Like, let me think. X and I had Team Flare, which, oh dear, they were trying. Like, I think the last good criminal groups were genuinely like Team Magma and Team Aqua. And then for Sun and Moon they basically had 2 criminal groups. Yeah, but again, they tried. And then you have like Sun and Moon, which basically had like 2 criminals. It had like 1 twist villain and like 1 obvious like group. Like the obvious group was like Team Skull, but they like later on in the game turned out to be not that bad of a deal. They were actually created by one of the children of the actual villain in the game to stop his mother. Because the actual villain in there is actually the Ether Foundation, which up until the twist comes actually makes you believe that they are basically a Pokemon preservation program. So that one was kind of fun because it had a twist villain that actually worked. Like, most people didn't see it coming. And then we had Sword and Shield has Team Yell. They're basically they're basically somebody's insane fan base gone wild. They're like massive fans of like one particular character, and they just took it to the extreme till the point that they're actually harassing people that aren't fans of that specific person. Yes, so Team Yell is the fan base of a other like challenger in that game, Marini, and they just took it to the extreme. They're like, they will effectively harass people that aren't fans of Marini, and like they'll fight people over it, harass people, put up road blockages, and like, so they're basically like the insane fan base gone rogue. Until like in the end, like Marini discovers what they've been doing and just disbands them. Also, that one again also has like a twist villain. Like the last couple of games they had twist villains. So, and then for like Legends Arceus, there isn't a definitive villain, which is kind of weird because the organization you work with is basically Team Galactic. Team Galactic in the past were genuinely the good guys, and they didn't turn bad until basically Cyrus took them over in Diamond, Pearl and Platinum. But in Legends Arceus, they're still the good guys, which is a bit weird. And then for like the Generation 9 villains, we have no idea yet. Like, they haven't released anything on Generation 9. Except for like a trailer that's also immediately doubles as a bit of a teaser for a new Detective Pikachu movie. And like the starters. That's all they released. And then the villain teams for like Pokemon Ranger were just amazing. I don't know why, but for some reason Pokemon Ranger got, in my opinion, the best Pokemon villains. Which is also a bit of a shame because they just never made it to like another media than the Pokemon Ranger games. They had some like really impressive, like the Go Rock Squad. But like, the second game has a different one, which is actually basically the Rangers don't discover those are actually hostile until it's basically almost too late, and even after you save the day, basically in post game there'll still be signs that like not everything is well. They like genuinely like messed up like some parts of the world. They actually did some irreparable damage. And I completely forgot what they were called because the last time I played Pokemon Rangers Shadows of Armia, it's been a while. I'm pretty certain I already have a Gligar, but... And the Go Rock Squad, they were like pretty hazardous. I mean, they like Go Rock Squad, they like, those two did some like really decent damage. Seriously, I touched him in Extract once. Yeah, Pokemon Ranger had some really good villains that actually like gave you trouble. Because Go Rock Squad causes you to like have to capture like Raikou, Suicune and Entei. And I remember Entei being one of the most unfair, like, captures in the entire game. I remember that one vividly because I was stuck on that one for, I believe, a good 3 to 4 days. That was just a, like, that was just a mean fight, the one against Entei. But that was mostly because, if I remember correctly, Entei had like one attack in that game that would just one-shot you. No matter like your ranger rank, no matter like your stylus level, Entei could one-shot you. Which is, in my opinion, a bit cheap, but oh well. I should really replay the Pokemon Ranger games. They were amazing. And perhaps I can get my hands on a capture card for my 3DS, or like have my old 3DS modified, and actually play them on stream. Pokemon Ranger is not a game you should try to play with like your mouse and an emulator. That doesn't really work. I tried it. It's not a fun experience. It's a bit better if you have a pen tablet, but Pokemon Ranger, it basically only works on a DS system. I'd like to go to the volcano, please. Thank you. Well, that's because Alakid is one of those Pokemon that you have to evolve. Final evolution Pokemon cannot join your team. So, if you want a Electabuzz, you have to train an Alakid all the way up to level 30 and then evolve it manually. Final evolutions just can't join in this game. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem. It also means that you're kind of stuck with having to train up a level 8 Alakid. That's especially gonna be fun when you get to Pokemon, for instance, like, well, Dragonite, with its Dragonair to Dragonite, which evolves at level 55. Metang to Metagross, which is again level 55. Alakid, Electrode, Magnemite, no what? Alakid, Voltorb, Magnemite, Poochyena, all need level 30. So yeah, that's one of the joys of like fully beating this game is you have an awful lot of Pokemon you gotta train. Because yeah, they otherwise just don't evolve. And then don't get me started on the evolutions, because you need like 6 Eevees for that. But yeah, that's just how the game is programmed. If it's final stage evolution, it just cannot join. So you have to start training them. And then in the case of Alakid, I believe, yeah, it also has like a very unfortunate EXP curve. So that's why I bring Alakid. It needs to be level 30. Which is gonna take forever. I already trained a Rattata all the way up to level 20 to get an Eradicate, but like the easiest ones to get are like the full set of Weedle and like the full set. No, not even Caterpie, because Caterpie isn't available until the post game. Like Weedle is the easiest one to get because all Weedles by default are between level 6 and 8. So you can immediately evolve them into Kakuna, and then they have like 2 more levels until they're until the Beedrills. But yeah, so you can't get all Pokemon in this game without evolving like a lot of them, which is a bit of a problem. And it gets even better when like certain Pokemon need like certain items. For instance, Porygon to Porygon 2, which was already a thing. So you need to upgrade for that, which you can randomly get. What else? Everything that used to be a trait evolution is now a IQ evolution in this game. So you need a lot of gummies to make that happen. You can get evolution stones. What else did we have? Yeah, it's just it's a bit of a thing to actually get everything evolved. Certain Pokemon can have a combination of things. For instance, if you want to evolve an Onix into a Steelix, then before evolution, when like the evolution stone where you can evolve Pokemon asks you if you want to give an item, you have to give both a link cable and a steal something. So you have to find like 2 items. Yeah. That's gonna be great. This game is gonna last me the year, if I'm lucky. This game is gonna be forever. But that's kinda why I picked it to be my streaming game. It's nice and long, but it doesn't get overly dull and boring after like 20 hours. Because I believe at this point I only play this game at the moment on stream, and I believe I've got like close to 30 hours. Yeah, about like 30 hours sank into it. So, and the majority of that was post game, because I reached the post game after about 4 streams. So the main storyline took me about 8 hours, and like everything else is just post game. But I can switch up like which Pokemon I'm bringing. I have an Azumarill that needs training, and I have a Spoink somewhere. And I have a Meditite that should be really close to evolving, but I believe those are level 35 in this game. What else do I have? The Magnemite you get like early game as like a partner. Yeah, sure, why not? I don't think I have a Slugma. Is this the only mission? Yes. Also, I always sometimes wonder how like Pokemon get stuck in the dungeons, because the Pokemon I need to rescue is a Scyther. How did a Scyther get to the 12th floor at Mount Blaze? Like, if I were to like switch to Scyther, the one that I have, which is a higher level, seeing as all Pokemon you have to rescue are only level 1, I don't think I would make it to floor 12 of like Mount Blaze. I don't think you can reach that with a Scyther. Well, you can eventually, but not in the beginning. So I'm just always wondering how like Pokemon get stuck in dungeons, because sometimes it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it's clear they generate those randomly, because you can, for instance, also at some point have to like rescue a Blastoise from Mount Steel. How does a Blastoise get stuck at Mount Steel? You get stupid stuff like that. Also, Pilepur again. Dear little Piloper, always delivering the mail. Yeah, but that's like the weird thing in this game, is like Pokemon can get... Yeah, that's not necessarily a cute... Well, let's face it, a Blastoise should be about level 36. But yeah. And then you have like stupid things like, go get this Pidgey from like 2 floors down of Rayquaza. Because that's all can also happen. Which other Pokemon? Oh yes, I do have 2 Glygers, so... Because you only get enough spots to actually fit everything, you do have to get... so you can't keep doubles. That's a bit of an issue. So I have to kick out 1 Gligar. Yeah, let's take a Spoink. Which one of you 2 is the highest level? I have a level 13 Spoink and a... You win. Sure, why not bring a Spoink? Something I just remembered about this game is it does contain 2 Pokemon of the 4th generation. I just remembered, it actually has Pokemon from the 4th generation. Because Gen 4 was in development at the time of this game. One of the things that proves that is that the highest rescue rank you can get in this game is the Lucario rank. They like effectively mention Lucario. And the other thing that I just remembered is you can get, which is something I've got, that's a Bonsly. That's a Generation 4 Pokemon. Yeah, Lucario in this world is like the strongest explorer ever. And it's the reason that the highest rescue rank you can get is Lucario. And you can get a Bonsly statue. Which is actually quite especially back in the day, these were massive spoilers, seeing as Generation 4, I believe the games had only been announced. And then they like put some Generation 4 Pokemon just for shits and giggles like straight into the game. I forgot to get the Implosion. Oh well, this should work. Only Frosty Forest. How many missions do I have? Just 1. Ah, a ferret. Yeah, sure, I can have another Azurill. I already have an Azurill, but yeah, I like said earlier in the stream, Azurill might be one of the cutest Pokemon they like ever designed. And also nowadays, it's a water fairy type. Azurill, Marill, and Azumarill also all got like the fire typing. And yeah, I think it's such an adorable little Pokemon. It's a water type that can't swim and therefore has like a ball of oil like connected to his tail so it keeps afloat. So it has like a built-in flotation device. And then that happened. Yeah, that's like part of like Azurill's like official lore is that they can't swim. Yeah, I know. I'll get a new one at some point. Part of like Azurill's official lore is that they are water type Pokemon that can't swim. And therefore they have like evolved to have a to have like the ball at like the end of the tail is like filled with oil, so that Azurill will always float and always like when it like falls into the water or something always has like something to hold on to, so it doesn't drown. And like when they like evolve into a Meryl, they like get the ability to swim, but like Meryl is still not a strong swimmer, hence the reason they also still need like an oil-filled ball at the end of the tail to like help them out a bit. And then it isn't until they become like an Azumarill that they can actually properly swim. Yeah, some of the Pokemon have like really wild lore. For instance, the Spoink behind me, if that one stops jumping, its heart will stop. Like, Spoinks need to jump in order to keep their heart pumping, so that's also something. Yeah, that's... Yeah, but let's face it, it's not the worst Pokédex entry. We, for instance, also have Drifloon, which looks like a balloon and abducts children. And Baynet, that one curses children, and what else do we have? Like, Spoink has to keep jumping, otherwise it's... Yeah, some Pokédex pages are a bit grim. Like, I don't think child abduction is that good of a thing. Yeah, but let's face it, most children didn't really deserve it. Like, Baynet, for instance, punishes children for outgrowing a toy. Yeah, it's been very long rumored that, like, people that work for, like, Nintendo at, like, the Pokemon games get paid bonuses for every single, like, messed up Pokédex entry they can make that makes it past the censors. It's like a rumor that they get paid for that. Oh no, like, Baynet will, like, full on, like, kill children that, like, get rid of the toys. Baynet doesn't want to, like, reunite them. Baynet just wants to get rid of those children. They think that, like, children that get, that, like, outgrow their that, like, get rid of their toys, either because they're, like, broken or, like, they've outgrown them, are like, should be punished. So that's Baynet, and then you have like Frostlast, that's based off the myth of the Yuki Onna that basically kills men. Just in general, for no particular reason other than that they're men. And then you have Dusknoir, which is, if you start looking into its lore, is effectively the Grim Reaper. That's the reason that the way to evolve Duskull into Dusknoir evolves the Reaper Cloth. I have to admit, Baynet is cool. Yeah, there is an item called the Reaper Cloth. It does one thing in the entire game: evolve a Duskull into a Dusknoir. It's literally the only Pokemon that uses that item. And it is basically hinted at that Dusknoir is just the Grim Reaper. It's like the Pokemon version of the Grim Reaper. Even Dusknoirs that are like with a trainer will at night like seem to be hypnotized and like go away and then come back and like nobody knows where they went. They're also rumored to be like the only Pokemon that can travel to like Giratina's Distortion World. Like on command. Like the 3 Pokemon I believe that can travel to Giratina's Distortion World on command. And I believe those are Dusknoir, Darkrai and Giratina. And that's literally it. Yes, Dusknoir is also quite a strong Pokemon. They're actually quite strong. What else are Pokemon that are a bit messed up? Oh yeah, Cubone. All Cubones by default are orphans. That's also like... I guess Cubone is a bit more sad because they're always an orphan. Yeah, but even some of the more innocent looking Pokemon have like if it's a ghost type, I'm expecting creepy lore, but even some, like, regular Pokemon also have quite creepy lore. For instance, Beware, which is like a stuffed bear Pokemon, is known for accidentally killing its trainer when hugging them out of excitement. That's like... It's like basically a pink plush bear with a fighting type. Beware. It's from Generation 8. It loves giving out hugs, and then it forgets its own strength and kills its trainer in the progress. It's like the evolve from Stuffle. Yeah, it's... That's also something. It like... It accidentally kills its trainer. Yeah, but that's the thing, like... It doesn't mean bad. You like come home and like your Beware wants to give you a hug and then it accidentally crushes your bones. It's also known to like paralyze trainers by accident. Like the poor Beware will just come up to you, try to give you a hug and just basically snap you in half doing so. Also, Stuffle and Beware are very popular with children. So, well, I get it. I guess it combats overpopulation. So, yeah, that's a Pokemon. And then, what's another disturbing one if you think about it? Licky Tongue is also quite a disturbing one if you think about it. Because its Pokédex entry says it's very popular with like... Yeah, Licky Tongue, because its Pokemon entry says that it's very popular with older unmarried women. Now, you go and give it a good thought why a older unmarried woman would need a Pokemon with a massive tongue. Yeah, it flat out says that in a Pokédex entry. So, no, I don't think so. Especially not seeing as the Pokédex also mentions that its Licky Tongue's saliva gives off a pleasant tingling sensation. So, yeah, that's a Pokédex entry. What other ones do we have? Yeah, that's Licky Tongue. I can see why the Pokemon never caught on as being like a Pokemon people have. It's already dumb enough of a concept, and that Pokédex entry did not do it any favors. Creepy Pokemon facts. Do I have a couple of good ones? No, let's not, let's wait with, like, telling her about Licky Tongue until, let's face it, she's probably a bit older. Like, let's wait with that until, like, she's a bit more older. Like, until it's basically not a little sister anymore. What else do we have in, like, the category messed up Pokemon? Do I know another good one? I've run out of like messed up Pokemon in it for a second. Well, there is Dittos, which are basically failed attempts at like cloning Mew into Mewtwo. So we've got those. Oh, another Pokemon that... Yeah, another Pokemon I just remembered that it's very messed up is Gorbas. Like that pink thing that Clamperl can evolve into. Like a lot of people forget it exists. But it actually, Gorbas actually is a Pokemon that actually does hunting. And it does so by making an opening in the Pokemon it wants to eat, sticking its snout in, and sucking out its organs, leaving nothing but a empty husk behind. That's a fun one. Yeah. It looks incredibly cute, but it's a killer. That's how it eats. It like injures a Pokemon. I like. Yeah, that's why it's called Gorebass. Yes, apparently, probably. And then it just sucks out its internal organs. I mean, that must be a horrible way to go, like getting your internal organs like sucked out. Because depending on where like the Pokemon start sucking, chances are like your heart, your lungs, and your brain are like lost to go. Yeah. What other Pokemon do we have that's kinda messed up? Like Gorebass, I just remembered, is a very good one. What's another one that just basically kills you the moment you see it? I really have to think about that. Oh yeah, Ponyta and Rapidash are known for like standing somewhere, letting people climb on top of them, and then burning them. That's something that Ponyta and Rapidash are known to do. That also might be a bit messed up, because they'll like pretend they're all like cute and rideable, and then like the moment you mount them, they'll like burn you alive. So that's a thing. Yeah, that's... But like a lot of... Well, that's the thing. No. Ponyta and Rapidash do this on purpose. Because they can decide if they burn somebody or not. And Ponyta and Rapidash will genuinely do it on purpose. They'll just, like, make the decision to just burn you, to just burn you alive. It's a conscious decision these Pokemon make. So, that's also a bit messed up, because if you just have a Pokemon posing as harmless and then just... They pose as harmless just with the intent to burn people. And burn them quite badly, because that just means you're on their back and just get engulfed in flames. And most people just don't survive that. So, they're not innocent and harmless. What's another one? Let's think. What's some other good Pokemon that are kinda messed up? Oh wait, Uproar is not a damage dealing move in this game. God. There was a Pokemon that would like imitate a voice, would like imitate a scream for help, and then like make also like attack people, but I forgot which Pokemon that was. Oh wait, Shed Ninja is a good one. Yeah, Shed Ninja is also a good one, because everybody that looks at his hole in the back gets a soul sucked out. Yamask used to be humans that like got cursed or something and then turned into Yamask. The evolution of Yamask, like I forgot how to pronounce that one. If you like open one up and like look inside, you get sent to an alternate dimension that isn't the distortion world, so you really can't come back from that one. Which other Pokemon do we have? Phantom are spirits of children that got lost in the forest, died, and then inhabited tree stumps. So that's also still a Pokemon. Like, so many messed up Pokemon. Rattata and Raticate are also quite messed up because their teeth continue to grow, and all wild Rattata and Raticate will die because the teeth will like grow into their own body and like cause infections and kill them. So that's a fate that like all wild like Rattata and Raticate have. And like trainers either have to like give them like stones to like chew on, or like have to have their teeth trimmed like on occasion at the Pokemon Center. And what other Pokemon do we have? The Wishmore line is great, but also that's also again a Pokemon with quite a dark thing. Wishmore, Loudred and Explode can actually produce sounds so loud that it kills humans. They can like make sounds so loud that it can kill humans. I mean, that's also not that great a thing. Especially seeing as Wishmers basically cry constantly. Yeah. Explode is actually quite cool. And the fun part about him is, the reason why Wishmer can cry continuously is because, yeah, like, Wishmer only gives you like a ruptured eardrum. Yeah, that's a good reason. Wishmers are known for being loud. They're known for crying upwards of 18 hours a day. They're ridiculously loud. And one of the reasons why they can cry continuously is that Wishmer, Loudred and Explode all have ways to breathe while making sound. Wishmer actually breathes in through its ears. So does Loudred, and like Explode breathes in through those holes on his body. They like breathe in, and they can actually breathe in and out through those. Hence the reason they can basically just screech the entire day, because they don't have to breathe manually like we do. So that's one of their abilities. It's actually kind of a cool ability. I mean, yeah, whenever I play like Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald, there will be an Explode on my team. They're very strong. I mean, they're just a strong Pokemon, and like the moment you put return on them, they like start killing things. Yeah, that's a thing, like a lot of people give normal types a lot of shit. Yeah, but like a lot of people give like normal types a lot of shit, but a lot of times they're quite good. Like, for instance, people always overlook like Rattata. But Rattata, if you evolve it into Raticate, it's got very high attack. It's got very high speed, Raticate. It's got like high attack, high speed. And it learns things like Super Fang and Hyper Fang. So whenever I play a Kanto game, I always have a Raticate on my team with the moveset Super Fang, Hyper Fang, Strength and Return. Because on a Raticate, like Return if it like really loves you, which if you capture your, yeah, Raticate is actually used in speedrunning the Kanto games. If you build them correctly, they're massively powerful. Because Super Fang and Hyper Fang are just idiotically strong attacks. Strength is a base 80 move. Nidoking. Because Nidoking is just cheating, it's a third stage evolution at level 16. And it learns practically everything. Like, I don't know who came up with it, but it, like, for instance, it learns Surf. Nidoking can be taught Surf. Do not ask me why it knows that. It's a ground and poison type. And because of like where you can get it, you can get a Nidoking before Misty. And like Raticate has like access to like Return, which basically all Pokemon can learn. But on Raticate it's extremely strong because Return, if like the Pokemon absolutely loves you, is a base 120 move. So if you put Return on Eradicate, you basically get the damage from Double Edge without the recoil. That's why you need Eradicate. Nidoking just learns practically everything. Nidoking can also be built as basically a special attacker because again it learns Surf, it learns Thunder Punch, it learns Thunder, it learns Ice Beam, it like yeah, Return on a normal type is abnormally strong. Because, for instance, Raticate, it has naturally a high attack power. You probably got it at Route 1, and then you get Return at about like Lavender Tower, at like Lavender City. So, at Lavender Town, I believe. By that point, it really loves you, and like, if like Raticate truly loves you, it's basically a base 120 move without recoil. So, yeah, Return. It's quite a powerful move. And a lot of people overlook it. You can use the same strategy on like the Wishmalime in Ruby, Sapphire and Emerald. Just get those and just like the moment it's an Exploud, just put Return on it. It also works with Vigoroth, but Vigoroth has the downside that you can basically only use it every other turn. You can also do it with Delcatty, that also works. But yeah, what are some other Pokemon that like people sleep on that are actually quite good? What are some other ones? In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, like Heracross. It being a bug and fighting type is actually quite strong as long as you keep it away from flying types. It's actually quite a good one. Yeah, there are actually quite a lot of Pokemon that like, when you start looking into them, one, they're actually quite strong, and two, some of them have like really cheap movesets. Nidoking is one of those, like Raticate is one. What's another one that's really good for it? I always build, if I have like a Venusaur in the game, that one always becomes a staller. With Mega Drain, Giga Drain, Leech Seed, and then also a Leftovers on it. Because that just means it's basically unkillable. And I'll just like perhaps keep Poison Powder and just outstall opponents. But yeah, this is also, just as a notice, this is gonna be the last dungeon of the day. I still have things to do, and I normally plan to end the stream at like 2 my time, and it's been 2. So after this dungeon, I'm gonna have to call it quits, but I will be back tomorrow. I stream every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And for now, it's gonna be Pokemon Mystery Dungeon for the foreseeable future. And I also have all previous streams uploaded to my YouTube channel. Because some of them aren't available in the VODs on Twitch anymore, but they're also all on my YouTube channel, which is also linked for my Twitch page. So, yeah. But I really have some other things to do. Which is a bit of a shame, but on the other hand, well, I kinda have to. At least I don't have to work today. Normally on Wednesday and Friday. Yeah. No problem. It's I know a bit too much about Pokemon, basically. I know for a lot of Pokemon, know the level ups, know the like the move pools from multiple games, where to get them. It's yeah. It's mostly also thanks to me as a child, basically living on Cerebi.net and like and Bulbapedia. I like used to live on those as a child. Because those were kind of like some of the only websites that my parents would permit me to use because they considered those child safe. So I would just spend hours upon hours basically. Like back in the day, I just remember like starting reading upon the Pokédex, like starting at Bulbasaur and just it starts the attacks like in the different games, how to get it. And I still love my Pokemon games, so the knowledge continues being in use. I'm not a true master though, I mean, even I on occasion have to look things up because my knowledge of like the first 4 generations is very solid. But like Gen 5 and beyond, things get a bit iffy with my knowledge. But yeah. So that's gonna be it for today's stream. Yeah, like the first 4 generations of Pokemon was it's a challenge. So, well, thank you very much for coming. I hope you had fun. Tomorrow and Sunday are gonna be streams. So Saturday and Sunday, they're starting on the same time. They're gonna end around the same time. I have them all in like the planning on Twitch. So if you live in a different time zone than I do, you can see how early and how late they start. And yeah, thank you for coming. I hope to see you next time. It's gonna be more Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Oh, Canada, that's like at least 6 to 8 hours time difference. Yep. Goodbye, and hope to see you tomorrow. And yeah, till next time. Bye.